If you're over 60, you might not even imagine that a simple, daily habit one you've practiced for years could trigger a stroke in a matter of hours. And the worst part is, it happens without chest pain, without the classic alarm bells. There's no warning, no time to call for help. You simply step into what should be the safest place in your home, and you can come out forever changed. It's not the lifelong smokers or those with severe heart conditions. What truly worries me are the older individuals who seem to be in excellent health, who have followed every recommendation, and yet end up in the emergency room struggling to speak, with paralysis in their limbs, all because of something as trivial as their daily shower. What I'm about to tell you will be surprising. Very few people know this. It's not discussed by general practitioners, family members, or in health magazines. There are 5 shower habits that silently set the stage for a stroke. And these episodes are not rare. They happen every day, in thousands of homes, to people just like you. Before we continue, if you find this information valuable, I invite you to follow our channel so you don't miss any health advice designed for you. Now, let me tell you a story that changed everything for me. The story of Margaret. She was 73, a vibrant woman who had lived alone in the same house for decades. Every night at 9 p.m., she took a hot bath. It was her sacred ritual to ease her arthritis pain and relax before bed. One Tuesday evening, everything seemed normal. The warm water cascaded over her, providing that familiar, comforting sensation. But 20 minutes later, as she was drying off, something strange happened. She felt intensely dizzy and nauseous. When her daughter found her the next morning, Margaret could barely form words. She couldn't move her right arm, and she couldn't understand how her life had been so terribly turned upside down. The stroke had robbed her of her independence in a matter of hours. And the trigger? It was that bath which seemed so innocent and restorative, but was, in fact, a silent trap. What Margaret didn't know, and what almost no one knows, is that after the age of 60, our bodies no longer tolerate the same bathing habits that served us well for years. Tonight, I'm going to explain exactly why this happens and, most importantly, how you can protect yourself. Let's start with the most dangerous habit, taking very hot baths or showers before bed. You know the feeling, don't you? The almost steaming water that relaxes every muscle, every joint, that seems to melt away the day's fatigue. It's tempting, but here's the problem. When the water exceeds 104 degrees Fahrenheit or 40 degrees Celsius, your blood vessels dilate with astonishing speed, like tiny balloons inflating. This vasodilation causes a sharp drop in blood pressure, sometimes by 20 to 30 points within minutes. For a young person with flexible arteries, this might go unnoticed. But for someone over 60, with blood vessels that have lost their elasticity, this change can be extremely dangerous. With age, vessels harden. The heart already has to work harder to pump blood, and that sudden drop in pressure isn't just a momentary discomfort. It can deprive the brain of the oxygen it desperately needs. When the pressure in aging arteries drops, blood flow decreases dramatically, and the slow-moving blood becomes a breeding ground for clots, true silent assassins. I'll never forget Robert, a patient who made a deep impression on me. He was 78, a retired professor. For 15 years, he ended his days with a 20-minute hot shower that fogged up every mirror. He called it his therapy session, but one night, just minutes after stepping out of the shower, he collapsed in the bedroom. His wife found him unable to speak, the corner of his mouth drooping to one side. At the hospital, tests confirmed my suspicions. A large clot had formed during the pressure drop caused by the hot shower. It traveled to his brain and blocked a crucial artery. The shower he believed was a form of self-care had actually set the stage for a tragedy. Your body at 70 is not the same as it was at 40. Every overly hot shower is like playing Russian roulette with your circulatory system, and that's just the beginning. If you think the water's heat is the only danger, wait until you hear about the next mistake, which could be even more serious. Dangerous habit number 2. Showering immediately after eating or taking medication. It's a common scene. You finish dinner, take your blood pressure medication, and hop in the shower. It seems logical, right? But this routine can be a major mistake. After a large meal, your body automatically diverts a significant amount of blood flow from the brain to the digestive system. This is a normal process, but it means your brain is receiving less blood for a while. If you then take a hot shower, even more blood is sent to the skin to regulate temperature. The result, your brain, the command center, starts operating on dangerously low power. The same thing happens with certain medications, antihypertensives, some heart medications, and even strong painkillers can alter your hemodynamics, making you more vulnerable to shower-induced hypotension. When these factors combine, the risk multiplies. I remember Eleanor, a 76-year-old woman who learned this the hard way. Every night after dinner and her medication, she took a hot bath. It was her routine for years, until one evening, 10 minutes after her bath, the world started spinning. When the paramedics arrived, they found her unconscious. The stroke was swift. Her pressure dropped so low that a clot formed in a weakened artery, blocking the area of the brain responsible for speech. Eleanor survived, but she never spoke clearly again. The rule is simple. Wait at least an hour after eating or taking your medication before showering. Give your body time to adjust. And if you think the dangers are limited to hot water or poor timing, the next habit is perhaps the most surprising because it involves something found in every bathroom. Dangerous habit number 3. Long showers in steamy, unventilated bathrooms. Picture it. You close the door, turn on the hot water, and let the steam envelop you, turning the bathroom into a personal sauna. The feeling is wonderful, but this comfort is a trap. When hot water creates steam in a closed space, it doesn't just fog up the mirrors, it also depletes the air of oxygen. At the same time, the heat dilates your vessels and lowers your pressure. Combine oxygen poor air with an aging circulatory system, and you have the recipe for an emergency. Your blood becomes more viscous as oxygen levels drop, and it flows slowly through already narrow arteries, creating the ideal environment for clot formation. Therefore, limit your showers to under 10 minutes and always ensure good ventilation. Open a window or turn on an exhaust fan. The damage happens silently until it's too late. And if you think only hot showers are dangerous, wait until you learn the risks of cold showers. Dangerous habit number 4. Sudden exposure to cold water. These days, it's impossible to avoid people raving about cold showers. For someone in their 20s, it might work. But for those over 60 with stiffer vessels, that cold shock can be a deadly trap. When cold water hits the skin, blood vessels constrict abruptly. It's like slamming the brakes on a car at full speed. Blood pressure skyrockets, sometimes by 40 or 50 points in seconds. If your arteries are already hardened by age, that pressure spike can cause micro tears in their walls. The body forms clots to repair the damage, but those clots can break loose and travel straight to the brain. I'll never forget James, age 68. After watching a show praising cold therapy, he decided to start every morning with an ice-cold shower. "It makes me feel alive," he said. Until one Monday, his wife found him passed out in the shower. He couldn't move the left side of his body. A CT scan showed a massive stroke. The cold shock he thought was invigorating ended up injuring his fragile arteries. If you want to cool down, start with lukewarm water and gradually make it cooler. Never subject your body to extreme temperatures. And while cold is dangerous, you might be surprised by the final mistake, one that sets the stage for disaster while you sleep. Dangerous habit number 5. Showering too late, right before getting into bed. This is the most common and perhaps most dangerous mistake because it happens while we sleep when we are most vulnerable. A hot shower before bed seems like the perfect ritual, but this habit can create a silent trap. When you shower late, your core body temperature rises just as your biological clock is trying to do the opposite, cool you down for sleep. This conflict overloads your cardiovascular system. The hot water dilates vessels, and as your body tries to cool down, you lose fluid through perspiration, even if you don't notice it. For those over 60, especially if taking diuretics, the combination of dehydration and the natural drop in blood pressure during the night can be fatal. When you're dehydrated, your blood becomes thicker and flows more slowly. During sleep, the sluggish circulation creates the perfect environment for clots to lodge in your cerebral arteries. The solution is simple. If you like to shower at night, do it earlier. Give your body time to rebalance before going to bed, and don't forget to hydrate well. So, how can you shower safely after 60? My goal is to give you knowledge that could literally save your life. The truth is, aging changes everything, but knowledge is power. With simple adjustments, you can protect yourself. First, keep your showers under 10 minutes. Second, avoid extreme temperatures. Always opt for warm water. Third, never shower immediately after eating or taking medication. Wait at least 1 hour. Fourth, always ensure good ventilation in the bathroom. And fifth, and very important, shower earlier in the evening to give your body time to stabilize before bed. Pay attention to the signs: dizziness, sudden weakness, blurry vision. These are not just part of getting older, they are warnings. Your life can change in an instant. Small adjustments to your routine can help you age strong, safe, and independent for much longer. Take care of yourself. Your body is precious, and your shower should be a time for self-care, not a hidden danger.